Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy. I was almost going to say the wrong name. Decayed Andy. I'm not joined by Mikey this week. Mikey's decided to be an intellectual this week and actually do his homework like a good boy. So instead, I've been joined by the man who I constantly scream, "Why aren't you streaming tonight, Jason?" It's Jason. Hello, Jason.
Yeah, and if Mikey's off being intellectual, obviously the best choice is to bring in the stupidest person you know, which is me. So hi everyone.
That's not true. I know much stupider people than you.
I am.
I
Here
see
to
one in
talk
the mirror
about
every day.
robots. Oh,
Hey!
that's not. Yeah, but can you really see? You've got like parts of you missing, and you're see through, so it's not a clear picture.
I'm not see-through. I'm not translucent. It's just like bits of my flesh are gone. And I've got a magical light. That's why one of my eyes is glowing.
I do like the glowy.
My little red eye glows.
It's a great
same.
touch.
It's fun. Yeah. That's how you know an undead person's alive, when they have something glowy in their eye.
Oh, of course.
If they're magically infused with power.
Yeah, it's Dead Person 101.
That's right. We do have very, very little to talk about this week, even less than last week. And I can't converse with Mikey to be like, have I missed anything? Because I think pretty much we've covered everything of value. So it might be a quick one. I don't know. It depends how off track me and Jason get. Maybe we could do, maybe we won't. But Jason, obviously, is really you're in dick deep at the moment with Transformers, aren't you, Jason? You're really heavy in the Transformers fandom at the moment. You're buying all the toys, watching all the shows.
I got like 3 of them this year.
Okay. Oh, which ones did you get?
Oh, that's a good question. Wait, was that
my
this
God.
year? I
don't know.
I think I got Studio Series Grimlock this year.
I
don't. Huh.
Oh, the G1 one. Yeah, that I think that was this year.
Yeah, and then I got Optimus Primal. I got that about the same time.
The reissue.
No, the new one for Kingdom. Yeah.
Oh, the Kingdoms one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the Kingdom one. Yeah, the reissues are too expensive. They should chop those in like half in price. If they were half the cost they are, I'd get them. I mean, come on, guys, you've already got your money out of that mold. I don't think we need to push that much harder here.
Are they sitting on shelves in your place, in your part of the world? I think they are here. Oh, last time I checked, I didn't see a lot of them had been sold, but maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it's just my area that just had a load of them in. But they are very expensive.
Oh, yeah. The only one I saw was Megatron, and I think there was only 2 of them. So I don't know.
They are selling then. Okay.
It may be. Who knows? I mean, if they come 2 to a pack and they only order 1 pack, who knows? But
well, yeah, that's fair.
I remember, like, when they reissued Optimus Prime, I was semi-interested in that one because I usually go for primes and stuff. But I know they sat there for a while. Then as soon as they went on discount, like, I didn't get a chance at it because they were swept off the shelves immediately.
Oh, wow.
Blaster, reissue Blaster sat on shelves for months.
Well, that kind of feels like, because it's like Soundwave. It feels like G1 Soundwave and G1 Prime and G1 Starscream have been reissued loads and loads of times. I'm pretty sure they're like... you probably don't need to go too far on like eBay or something to get one of the many, many reissued versions of those toys. And I think Blaster kind of sits around there as well. I think he's been reissued like 2 or 3 times at this point, surely.
I think so. But so yeah, those don't seem to really be taken off too much. But other than that, really, Flame Toy stuff is what I've been. The model kits I might this might be the same number I had last time I talked to you on the show or another show, but. I have like 6 of them behind me I need to do that I want to.
Oh.
It's one of those things where I was like, hey, that'd be a fun thing to stream someday, except I don't stream. So why am I saving it for that?
Because one day you'll come back, Jason. You've got all your tech, so you got to do it. Make it all worthwhile.
Well, and I also have Rodimus, Flame Toys Rodimus on the way. Because he was a pre-order.
When's that out?
Yeah. So actually, that reminds me, I have to ship him and SH Monster Arts Gigan from BBTS probably this week. I don't think anything else is coming in for a while.
Oh, he's actually out now. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't think he was out now.
Oh, yeah, my Godzilla Final Wars Robot Space Chicken. He's waiting for me.
No, I'm in the hot rod, but the space chicken's good too.
Oh yeah, no, Hot Rod. He's been out. I think he came out to other like BBTS was way behind. I think just 2 weeks ago I got the notification for him, but I think TF Source had him like a month or two ago, but I could be wrong.
Because obviously I don't keep track of the Flame Toys stuff, because if it's model kit wise, I've got other things I want to focus on that I hadn't been paying attention, and I don't think Mikey's got him yet. I don't remember Mikey saying he's had him or talked about him on the show before. So
yeah.
I guess Windblade's coming out soon, right?
Windblade was scheduled.
Windblade can't be too far off.
Windblade was scheduled for December. I think she's been pushed off till January. Let me, because I can check my thing and see when it's actually supposed to be due. But it was originally December because I actually had it pre-ordered through Amazon because then I could get free shipping on it. But then I just decided to say forget that and
yeah, I just want it.
Actually, yeah, she's still showing his estimated arrival of December, so I might actually wait and see if she comes in before I ship my other stuff.
Okay, interesting.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be getting her until like April when some of the Nendroid, or not Nendroid, some of the Good Smile stuff I have on order comes.
Fair play. Okay, all right. Well, luckily we do have some Flame Toys stuff to talk about this week. Like 2 stories, but still, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing.
Yes.
We may as well kick off with the news. We'll get into the third-party stuff for the moment. It is kicking off straight away with the Transformers Dreamwave, not the comics, but the toy company, TCW-10-W Generation Select God Neptune Upgrade Kit. So it's exactly what it says on the tin. It's an upgrade kit for the Generation Select God Neptune figure. What did it come with? The kit comes with the kit includes high covers for combined mode. High covers, okay. An all-new torso piece, and a new head, toe pieces, a new sword, elbow parts, and a few small pieces to support the joints. So that doesn't sound too bad. I guess I'll ask Jason, how do you what did you think of God Neptune when you originally saw him? Did you think he looked cool? Did you think he looked too spindly? Originally, I mean.
Well, I have Abominus, so I'm familiar with pretty much the molds he's based off of.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's always been the problem for the Combiner Wars type stuff, is just that the legs always seem a little too thin and spindly, and it's not quite as egregious on him as it is on, say, like let's see, Bruticus is one, Combiner Wars Bruticus, where it's like, you know, when you have a tank and a freaking Jeep as your shins, the tiny little legs that attach it to the rest of the body definitely show.
Yeah,
but I'd say Abominus it probably isn't that bad. I think the Aerobots come off the best of all the ones that they had like that, but
oh wow, really? I'd say they were probably the worst from my perspective.
I just mean as far as like from the perspective of, you know, the legs not being that much bigger than the actual jets at the bottom. I think it pulls off.
Okay.
Their look is more sleek. Is what I wouldn't argue that they're maybe not the strongest combiner that they put out, but yeah.
I mean, it's the Aerobots. They do the best they can, I suppose, right? Well, what do you think of the upgrade kit specifically here? Do you think it does a good job to like thicken him up, at least from certain angles? I'm sure.
Yeah, anytime you can get those actually, I think this one does a really good job. Anytime you can get those thighs a little thickened up, and any of the upgrade kits that adds that nice, more filled in chest piece. Boy, it's a really good thing I'm talking about a toy right now because I could get slapped if I wasn't.
Oh my God.
But yeah, anytime those are the 2 biggest additions. Back originally, obviously, getting better feet was a big thing too, because those stupid hand-foot guns were just so bad.
Oh, they were terrible.
They were
terrible.
This one does a good job at the feet, but also like, these companies have been doing a really good job with feet and hands for the combiners for a while now. But yeah, I'd say probably Volcanicus is the best example of one where the upgrade kit really made a huge difference. Especially there's parts of him where he is so skinny. It's bad. He actually probably is the
Yeah.
worst example over Bruticus even. But I've seen a couple upgrade kits that fill him out nicely, and it looks like a really nice toy.
Yeah, I mean, it was ambitious for Hasbro to try and make the Dinobots a combiner when they never were, apart from one terrible comic that came with some DVDs. I think it was Simon Furman that did it back in the day. I never liked the idea of the Dinobots being a combiner. I think they could just stand alone as a team, but I guess we got to make them combiners now. That's the thing. That's the way. Yeah, you are right. There were a few kits that actually made it look like it worked a little bit better. I still didn't like the idea or the concept behind it, but
Yeah.
they pulled it off at the very least.
Well,
With this kit specifically, I will say as well that I'm not sure if it's me, but it looks like they've cast the new parts, the bluey parts in like a metallic-y kind of blue.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's not the color that he's meant to be. Like, if you look around his like abdomen area and the guns on the back of his body, they're not metallic blue. They're kind of a dark bluish, dark greenish color. I'm not sure what kind of fancy artistic color that would be. So for me, there's a bit of a color mismatch here, and I'm not quite sure what the reason was for doing that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is meant to be light blue in those areas, but it makes the greeny blue areas stick out as a like why is it here like that? At least for me,
Yeah, I think they're taking the approach that the more metallic color is a bit more premium, which I think is true. It's probably one of those things where if you see it in person, it looks better because pictures are always notoriously. I don't, who knows how much time people spend who take these photos actually like calibrating color corrections on monitors and stuff like that. So
yeah, or just doing it in the camera. Even you do it in the camera, and then you can, like you say, put it into Photoshop, and then keep tweaking it from that point on as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not blown away by it, but I mean, if you've got him, I guess you could upgrade him if you feel the need to. We don't have a price as far as I can see or release date, but it's going to probably be the same as most of the other upgrade kits from this company. So, if you want to look at the previous releases, you can make a fairly logical jump and guess how much that's going to cost. Do you have anything else you want to talk about there, Mr. Jason? Are you good?
No, it's one of those things where if you have the combiner team, and of course with God Neptune, you pretty much he only comes boxed, right? You don't get the figure separately like you could with God Neptune, right? Or
you mean the Seacons?
Yeah, the
King
Seacons.
Poseidon.
King Poseidon, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
King Poseidon and God Neptune. I don't. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because King Poseidon, you could buy. It was like 2 per pack, wasn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was. Except
that's right. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. God Neptune was you bought the box set, and I'm pretty sure you bought the box set, and then boom, all in one go. From what I remember, at least. Yeah.
So I think coming from the standpoint of, I just spent this money on this box set. Does $40 or $50 more matter that much? That's up to you, of course. But yeah, I think it definitely seems like it makes enough of a difference to really, make the figure look a little more premium.
Yeah, I would agree. Do you want to take us on to the next bit of news, Mr. Jason?
Sure. So Moon Studios has given us new prototype images of their MS-03 Iron Arm, which is G1 Shoki. Of course, if I just combined the 2 ways I mispronounced, I'd get it right. And MS-04 Moonshine, which is G1 Kayan. And of course, these are modern takes of the G1 train bots. They are part of their G1 Radiatron, which is, of course, Raiden, their combiner. And they're looking at, it says gray prototypes, but these sure look more colored than gray to me.
There's certainly a lot more color on these than gray prototype, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't exactly know why they say gray prototype either, but whatever.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go.
It says color prototypes. It does say color prototypes, not gray prototypes.
It says gray in one and then color in another. Okay,
that's confusing. But yeah, these are the color prototypes, so they don't have the paint on them. I would assume it's just whatever they're cast in.
Yeah, exactly. So we get this, and of course, as we know, we have the official train bots coming out at some point. We've seen some pictures of that.
Well, we've only seen one.
One, right?
Yeah, we've only seen Shoki, and that's it so far.
And God only knows how much he'll cost, given the price of Masterpiece nowadays.
I think they. Now, I might be wrong here. I think they had him listed on one of the big sites like Big Bad Toy Store or something, and then they reduced the amount he cost. Like they had him at a certain price, and then obviously the price has changed, so he did come down in price. Might be wrong there, but I think he's cheaper than when me and Mikey last talked about it.
That's probably a good thing, I'm going to say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, if he can get something cheaper, that's not bad.
He's
not bad at all.
He's only showing his 160, which is probably more in line what I would have expected Masterpiece to be like 2 years ago. So that's actually not terrible.
Well, remember the fact that you've got to buy like 5 more dudes as well as Shoki.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot how many were part of this team. And yeah, he's basically just like, what, the chest? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he'll be some part of the chest. Yeah, that's for sure.
Right. Okay. So yeah, 160, 160 times 5. And of course, that's assuming that one of them isn't slightly more expensive because maybe he comes with all the hands or feet or who knows what.
I think they're gonna try and put them together. So like, if you buy one of the legs, it will come as well. Obviously, that one transforms as foot. But if you get the one that has a hand, it'll probably come with the hand. I'd be surprised if they bump up the price because like the amount of money that you're spending already on them is, at least from my perspective, pretty high. Yeah. To get the whole team, that's going to be super expensive. But you know, people have been wanting a Masterpiece combiner for a while, so I guess it's your first foray into it.
Yeah, I mean, you asked long enough.
You got the money.
Yeah, be sorry what you asked for, because eventually they're going to give you what you want, and you're you're going to have to either.
To be fair,
what?
To be fair, most people might not be asking for Raiden. In all honesty,
I don't know.
Not season 1.
I remember a lot of people saying that was a combiner they wanted from like Masterpiece, but
maybe, but I don't think you're going to get the broader appeal of, say, like doing an Optimus Prime or just a season 1 character. You're doing Shoki, who's a bit more of a niche character. I'm not saying he shouldn't get something, because he hasn't had like really any official figures since the original release, really.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if you had done, because I know a lot of people have been clamoring for Galvatron. I think if you'd done Galvatron, that probably would have been a little more widely heralded as as a good move. But I think there's enough. Plus, don't forget this. Takara is mostly Japanese market, so the train bots are a little more popular in a country that is basically. I mean, if the train stopped running in Japan, their economy basically collapses.
Yeah, well, I mean, their train system's really good. It's disgusting how bad everybody else's trains are in comparison to Japan's.
Yep. You watch any episode of Abroad in Japan and get a taste of that.
Oh yeah. He's been on some nice trains. Even the older trains are still nicer than most of the modern trains we have, at least here in the UK. I would imagine that's the same for America.
Oh, without a doubt.
I don't even know why you guys have trains, to be honest. Like, for people, like there's from my perspective, the country's too big for trains to be viable.
Right. I mean, like the subways and stuff are good for larger cities and things like that.
That 100%. That's fine. But you know, going from like, can you get a train from New York to like California? Is that a thing? That can't be a thing, right?
I think you actually can.
Fuck, how long would that take? Like a week, 2 weeks?
It's going to take, well, I mean, I'm trying to think. You might actually have to like get off and switch trains at some point. I don't think there's any, you know.
There's no direct one.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of our country developing was because of our basically our nationwide train,
yep.
Train, all the railways and everything. But nowadays, yeah, I mean, obviously there's, I don't even know if it's that cheap to use a train or to take Amway.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap to use train here. That's for sure. Like,
right.
It's cheaper and faster generally to use a plane. It's generally cheaper and faster to use a plane to fly outside of the UK to then fly back into the UK.
Nice.
It's bizarre. It's still faster than taking a direct train. It's dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
But Japan, they've got some fucking trains. Granted, Japan's not a big country, but still. Damn, son. They know how to train well.
They do, yeah. And speaking of trains, apparently All 6 of the Trainbot members have now been like revealed for Moon Studios. So
Yeah, I think that's right.
you have a good idea of what you're getting if this is a team you want. And so, I mean, obviously we can kind of compare Shuki because we've seen the official version. What are your thoughts on these 2 train boys?
These 2 specifically are quite dull in terms of the color scheme. Like the Shoki doesn't have a lot of blue pop to him. The saturation is quite low. He actually looks a lot more gray, like especially on his blues, a lot more dark grayish kind of blue than what I would be used to on him. It doesn't look bad. I was just surprised how kind of visually dark both of them appear to be. I don't know much about the orange train one. I think his train mode is pretty neat. His robot mode's very takes away all of the orange from his train mode. It all kind of vanishes into this black robot, which makes him look very generic-y and backgroundy. I'm sure that's part of the character, though. I'm sure that's just his general design from back in the day. I actually like his train mode the best because it's kind of an old school train. It does obviously have the issue of you can see a lot of the torso for the robot mode in the train mode. They weren't able to hide that desperately well.
Yeah.
But I think you got to make some exceptions for what it's trying to do. It's trying to be a train in this kind of shape that also needs to function as a lower waist and upper thighs for a combiner form, and also be a transforming robot with those kind of constraints placed upon it. I wouldn't see. This is the thing. You're buying these guys to make Raiden. The most important thing is going to be how good does Raiden look when he all comes together. I don't think we've seen that yet. And I'm mildly concerned about how the arms are attaching, because it looks like they're going on quite thin or smallish, at least smaller square pegs.
Right.
Kind of like do you remember the pegs from what's it called? Energon that were translucent for the 2 combiners.
I have heard of these pegs, yes.
Yes. Obviously, they're not translucent, so we don't need to worry about that. But these ones, at least for the shoulders, look a bit on the small side. Might be a perspective thing. They might be a lot bigger in person. But they don't, at least from these images, they don't look as big and chunky as the Combiner Wars pegs.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they function as well, but that maybe that's not an issue. Maybe it is, from my perspective. A bigger joint, especially for a combining feature, the better, because it's theoretically more secure that way.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not wowed by it, but it's like, yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's nice to see it, I suppose.
Yeah, if the train bots are your thing, this will work. One thing I do recognize from what I've seen mostly from reviews, because I don't have any. No, I do have one third-party combiner, but it's the Iron Factory DJD that turns into the giant Tarn thing, which is cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember wanting that at one point. Is it good? Did you like it?
Oh, yeah, those toys. The toys are great by themselves and combined. I mean, Voss and Kaon, they're so tiny. They're not, they are what they are. They're basically,
sure.
They're the best, Legends/core class figure you'll ever own, more or less. But the 2 large bots are very nice, and Tarn is really good. And combined, that combined form is actually really freaking cool. But the one nice thing about third party I've noticed is they tend to have like almost 2 locking points for their where the arms and the legs come together. Usually one piece comes and locks in from one side, so hopefully that'll be good. But yeah, compared to what we're used to with Combiner Wars, those are 2 very tiny little basically connection points.
At least from what we can see. We might be wrong because we don't have them in person. Maybe they're really big and thick and robust, but yeah, at the moment, maybe a bit scary. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Shall I take us on to the flame stuff, Mr. Jations? Shall I burn you away with some excellent things, potentially?
This is the way you do it, yep.
Yeah, well, it's one way. We have the flame toys, Kurakarakuri, Rodimus, which is Prime Mode version of the character, because it was previously a Hot Rod version, I guess. This is the biggest boy, biggest, saddest boy. And there's also IDW Cyclonus, and also from the Kurakarakuri line, there is a Starscream that was revealed as well. Now, Jason, because you have these figures, I'm going to rely on you, okay? were the Kurakari Kuri figures the model kits, or were they the big expensive action figures? I think they were the big expensive action figures, right?
Oh yeah, these are the chunky boys with all the light up and the articulation and everything. Yeah, these are the
Okay.
expensive versions.
Okay, that's good. My brain had not died completely. Fantastic. Thank you for
Good
letting me know.
job.
Yeah, I did it. But yeah, we've got basically one image of each of them. It's not a huge amount of things to look at here because they don't show us all the accessories or anything like that. We only really get to see one accessory, and that's for Starscream. And for some reason, it's a sword, which doesn't look anything like something, at least from my eyes, that Starscream would use. But I suppose that's neither here nor there. Maybe it's meant to hide in his. Oh, it's meant to hide in his wing. Yeah. If you look at the back shot of the wing, underneath the wing part, you can see the edge of the blade coming out. Okay, very clever.
Impressive.
And I was just there shitting on it, going, "Does it look like it's part of the fucking figure?" Like, oh, it is part of the figure. I'm just an idiot. Fair enough. Okay, Flame Toys, you got me. I guess I'll get a plate of shit and eat it. Should I? Fair enough.
Yeah, I think. You should.
Yeah, I'll do it live on stream. There we go. Come and watch Andy eat shit on stream.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good way to break TOS, my friend.
Yeah, well, it's YouTube. YouTube doesn't have a TOS. Of course they don't. So Starscream. Fair to say there'll be a Skywarp and a Thundercracker coming out. I don't think that's insane to say, right? That's okay, yeah.
You'd think that, but at the same time, I don't know how many versions of their Optimus Prime we've gotten. I'm not sure. We might have a Shattered Glass, but I don't think we have any of the other ones yet.
I think it would be weird not to see a Thundercracker and a Skywarp. I think it would be weird.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's not just constant repaints of Prime. It's like you'd repaint Starscream into Thundercracker and Skywarp because they are important well, you can put this in quotations if you like. They're important characters to Transformers.
Yeah.
So you have Starscream and you have his buddies who look the same as him, basically, with the new color scheme. Then there's Prime. Then there's a Shattered Glass Prime, who not really part of G1. Then there's a White Ultra Magnus, not really part of G1, etc., if you see what I'm saying.
Right. And that kind of goes out the window because they have done all those versions of Prime in the model kits. I should know. I have them all.
Oh,
yeah.
Never mind.
I can't get enough of them. I just if it's a different I just buy it. I
think you're what is called in the market a mark, right?
For these, yes, I will 100%. Yeah. Flame Toys, I'm a mark. I love you guys. Keep it up.
What do you think of the Starscream then? Obviously, it's only the one image. We don't see all of his things, but what do you think of his Flame Toys redesign? Because I don't think this follows anything in particular that I can remember, at least. He's probably mildly related to some of the comics, I guess, but I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, they don't really. I know that the horns on Cyclonus kind of indicate IDW, but actually, he's probably the closest.
that one's specifically IDW, I suppose. That one's outright. This one I think that one just says it is the IDW Cyclonus.
Yeah.
While the Starscream, I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think you could say that it's not a stretch to call that the IDW version. But for like the Prime, Tarn was pretty close to the comics. I don't think they really strayed much from Tarn's design. You know, Prime they did a bit, but also with the model kits, you know, the original Prime they did, the action version as they called it, or attack version, sorry, was actually designed.
That was the cheaper one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was actually designed by someone at Studio Trigger. So they were doing all kinds of, you know, taking a little bit of, I don't want to say liberties and make it sound like a bad thing, because I love the design of that one. But it was basically like, all right, you know, the Optimus Prime looks like, make them your own. And I think that's what they're kind of doing with the Stars. They're definitely doing that with the Rodimus, because holy crap, the guy, he's got like blades on his arms and shit.
Yeah. Did you have anything to kind of finish the Starscream thought before we move on to the Rodimus?
No, just I think he looks good. He looks, you know, they do tend to bulk the figures up quite a bit in this line as well.
Yeah.
They definitely want you to feel like you're getting that chunk that you pay for. So yeah, it's definitely a very bulked, very it's Starscream on steroids. That's what the Kurakara Kuri line really is. It's like, take a figure you like, be it Starsaber or Prime or Tarn, Not so much Tarn, because they really stuck to his core design, that Alex Milne design.
Yeah.
And just add, make him a super robot is how I would describe it.
I think my not issue, but one design aspect about the figure I'm not as fond of is the way that they've done the null rays. They don't have the classic look to them. They look, oddly enough, more like kind of a standard sci-fi kind of rifle. It's stuck to his kind of the top of the elbow, or the bottom of the elbow joint.
Okay.
It's a strange look. It looks like these are guns that should be held in the hand rather than kind of thin weapons that are kind of stuck to the shoulder. They're not bad. I just think they look a bit awkward being in the position that they're in. They look a bit too thick, I think, is my issue with them.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah. But you did mention Hot Rod or Rodimus. Rodhimus, because it's spelled Rodhimsu, which
MUS.
that's not how you spell Rodimus. I was double checking. I scrolled up and went, yeah, that's not how you spell Rodimus. I was like, hang on. They have put in an H for some reason.
I mean,
he has all of the shoulder pads. All of them.
Yes, he does.
He definitely doesn't turn into Winnebago. At least in these guys, I mean, obviously these guys don't transform, but I think their envisioning of him is more of turning into, I'm guessing from those shoulder pads, like a super muscle car.
I was just going to say
more
that.
so than anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I think this design's actually not a bad way to go, and it's more visually poppy and distinct than Hot Rod. From a Hot Rod to what he's normally is as Rodimus, which is just taller and magenta and with a few lines on his face. This is definitely more of an upgrade, like Orion Pax's Optimus Prime. Orion Pax got a lot bigger, a lot bulkier, silhouette very distinct and different. And I'd say this is similar in essence, at least in the idea behind it. Do you like him, Jason? Do you like his multiple goons and swords?
Goons and swords. Oh yes. Also, excuse me. Jeez, edit that out. Ooh. Also, I'll make the point real quick. I think you spell Rodimus like this. This is a Rodimus that wants you to make sure he wants you to know what his pronoun is. He's a him. This is Rodimus. He's doing everyone a favor. This is my pronoun. It's in my name.
See, I was reading it like maybe the Japanese were writing, so it'd be Rodhimus. Rodhimus.
Right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't work for my joke, so fuck you.
No, that's fair. That's fair. You got me there.
I mean, yeah, it's really cool. I think because there is an actual just Rodimus for the Kurokari Kuro as well. So I obviously and he is not nearly as bulked up.
No.
So I think this is literally I almost say you could place one right behind the other. Obviously, you do Rodimus behind this one, or behind the Hot Rod, or regular Rodimus. And I like that they're really, it's the same character, but they're really putting a one heck of a kind of a stamp on him, if you will. Where they're just, it's so crazy.
It's interesting that all this is it's the same mold, but with just new parts added to it. I think that's quite neat. I wonder then if you can take these parts off and swap them to make him just a normal Rodimus, or if it's just you don't get those options and it's just Rodimus, but it's just done with extra parts. I wonder if there will be the if you wanted to in the same pack, you could just make him into Hot Rod. I don't think they do that, but it'd be interesting if that was the case.
Yeah, and the thing is, because they have that, because they have Star Saber that does the combining with the Victory Leo. Obviously, they're not afraid to do the a little bit of part swapping here and there. I will also say, really, the only thing I can see for sure, the thighs between Rodhimus and Rodimus are the upper thighs are the same. So I think you could, in fact, build up your Rodimus to become Rodimus. Rodhimus, whatever.
Hot Rod to Rodimus.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe they'll just do it where you can buy, if you want your Rodimus, you get him. If you want your...
Oh no, I don't think they're going to sell the parts separately.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they're going to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would.
Why do that when you can use the mold again and sell it as one thing?
That's
You know?
true. And the thing is, I would almost wonder if this was replacing the original Rodimus, but they literally just showed the original Rodimus at their Comic Con special edition booth over the weekend. So
Okay. Well, there you go. All
yeah,
right.
so it's yeah, right there with Shattered Glass Prime. So there is definitely a I can't say all the K words.
Kuro Kara Kiri.
Yeah, there's definitely a Shattered Glass version of that Prime as well. So all kinds of. Oh, and also this week they showed off a G1 Shockwave model kit and a kind of a Bumblebee movie Soundwave.
Oh yeah, for some reason TFW didn't wrap these together as like that's as part of that story. They just kind of mushed that all in together with the actual showing at San Diego Comic Con, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about the Shockwave before on the show,
and
if we didn't,
a prototype of their RC as well.
Yeah, I will say for the Shockwave, unfortunately, the prototype has one of the horns knocked off of his head. I'm guessing, they're brittle material, so it tends to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's strange to look at the Shockwave. I don't think he's bad, but he's so flat in terms of detail compared to any of the other figures that he looks a lot more animation Shockwave than any other character. Every other character they've done for the model kits has panel lines and details, extra stuff sculpted onto the figure. I'm not saying that they're not going to do that with the Shockwave, but from the base figure that we see, he's basically almost devoid of all like extra detail on him, which is weird to see, right?
I honestly think, because like you said, he has got that broken horn. I think he is such a just off the 3D printer prototype that you're not seeing any of that. I think you're right.
Maybe. Again, this will be one of those things where when he gets his official announcement with one image to show him off, we'll get a better idea of what he's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
We can see Windblade in this display as well in the RC, like you said.
Yep,
they still look good. They still look fine.
I'm still buying them all.
Damn. What about Cyclonus then? Are you going to buy Cyclonus?
I can't go into the big guy. That's a little. If I was going to get any, it probably would have been Tarn. Just because you're not going to get a better representation of Tarn at that level from Hasbro or Takara. So
we could have done with there was an option. Cyberverse around, we totally could have got one, but obviously, one, they didn't want to make the figure, and two, they don't want to give Cyberverse the budget to make better quality figures, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we were never getting anything like that quality, so
they should.
No, out of Cyberverse, come on.
Yeah, they should.
It's a $400 figure.
Oh no, I don't mean $400. I mean like at least like a normal Voyager scale toy or something for Tarn.
The way this company works, I wouldn't be surprised if they pop up a prototype of that in like 6 months. The show's gone and dead, and it's like, hey, look what we're doing, guys. Like, oh, come on.
I don't know. I don't think they'll pump that much more money into Cyberverse, to be honest. I think they're going to wash their hands of it, and they're going to be moving quickly on to Legacy. And then we're just going to be playing around until, I guess, next year or something. Or no, not 2022 when the movie comes out, and then we'll focus on those two lines.
And
until obviously whenever we get a show. Yeah, which we still know nothing about. So that has to be still really early.
Well, if they're moving back the freaking movie that they've already shot an entire year, I wouldn't be surprised if the Nickelodeon thing doesn't happen.
Oh, you mean next year as well? Yeah, you might be right, potentially.
If
the Nickelodeon show does happen, it would be like maybe this time next year, earliest, right. I would imagine.
Maybe
if it even happens.
Yeah, maybe there's an easy explanation for why you take a movie that you literally already finished shooting and move it back an entire 12 months. I don't know. I still always thought that doing Beast Wars was just a weird idea. I don't think it's going to attract. It'll attract the hardcore fans. I don't think you're going to get a lot of people like. What do you mean Beast? I don't think it's going to attract us. It's not going to do well. I really don't think it's going to do all that great.
Well, I'm not sure if it's more so it being Transformers Beast Wars, or if it's just people might be tired of the
Yeah.
Transformers movies, because I don't
Yeah.
think Bumblebee did amazingly well, did it? It did fine, but I don't
Well,
think it was like rocking people away.
the thing that kills me about Bumblebee is it had a shit first weekend. It made like $20 million in the US, which is terrible, especially
That's
pre-COVID.
about it. Yeah.
And then, but it made almost 20 million the next weekend, which is unheard of. You never get a movie that has almost no drop weekend the weekend. And that kept
that's
up for a little
weird.
bit. So everyone's like, oh, it's doing so well. Yeah, it's doing well, but it still started off shit.
Yeah. And you want the good first weekend, obviously.
Right, exactly. So sure, celebrate the fact that it had little drop off from week to week. Don't celebrate it as a huge success, because it was not. Yeah, I think it's a part of that. I think people tired of it, but I don't. If they thought that, because remember that the what's that guy's name? The Diavanci, or the producer
Lorenzo
guy.
de Bonaventura.
The Bonaventura, thank you. He was throwing about
Yeah,
Beast Wars
yeah.
like right before the fifth movie came out, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's saying Beast Wars." I'm like, "Yeah, he doesn't know what the f he's talking about. He's throwing out Beast Wars because he knows that there's a Transformers Beast Wars." I think people are excited for this. Or, hey, you're getting hopefully a semi decent. That's probably asking too much Beast Wars representation, but don't think that's going to bring anyone into the. It's not going to help the movie if people don't want to see it in the first place.
I mean, at the moment, the movies is kind of a weird thing at the moment anyway, because people are a little bit fearful to go to the cinema at the moment. Movies are kind of, at least from my perspective at the moment. So
right.
There's definitely some of that, because I think Dune should have done better than it did in terms of how much it brought in, because I hear that was a decent film. Though Mike and Jay will never talk about it on Red Letter Media for some reason. Don't know why. I guess they just want to troll people.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest problem is they should have just done the two parts, and because now they have to bring everyone back. God help you if one of your actors, something happens if they're in an accident and can't act for like 8 months or something. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
it was weird.
You've also got the problem with people aging as well. Which is why, obviously, they did Lord of the Rings as fast as they did back to back. It's like, okay, imagine there was like a 5-year gap between each of those films. Think how old Gandalf would have been.
Oh my god! Yeah, how about it?
Yeah, Gandalf the White just comes back. No, he's Gandalf the Skeleton now.
Gandalf the Dead.
Yeah, Gandalf the Dead. That's a good. Yeah, I like that, Gandalf the Dead. Right, shall we move on to our last story then, Mr. Jason?
The last one already.
Yeah, we're already there, baby.
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, I know. Jeez, aren't we pushy today? My goodness.
Hell yeah. Podcast time, baby.
So you want me to just like go down the list?
Yeah, just announce them all.
All right. So for TFcon Los Angeles, March 11th through 13th, 2022. Oh my God, we're already saying things that are happening in 2022. Someone help me. They have announced quite a few guests, actually. First on the list, we have of Transformers Infiltration, Escalation, and Devastation fame, EJ Sue. We have the one, the only, the Stan, You've Got the Touch Bush will be performing. At least, I think, special guest musician. Yeah, I'm assuming he'll be performing. It would be weird if Stan Bush just like came in and stood there and shook hands and didn't like sing. That would be weird. And on the voice actor front, we have Greg Berg, who did
The Berg.
The Berg. Not Greg Berger. No Grimlock. We have Greg Bird, who
oh my God,
was Igor in the Dark of the Moon movie. That's a character I remember. Sure. He is, however, Fozzie and Scooter from the newest Muppet Babies cartoon, which he actually does a really good job as Fozzie.
Is it a cartoon or is it a puppet thing? Because obviously Muppet Babies from our day was like actually a cartoon, but the image they've used here looks like they're actually Muppets. Or is it CGI?
There you go.
Oh, fuck's sake!
I knew
because I would have been actually pretty impressed if they did like a Muppets Baby show with actually making them Muppets. I think that would have actually been very cool.
Well, at least when they do
Muppets,
at least when they do the main Muppets, they still use the puppets. So we've got that going for us. We still have that.
Yeah, but they never do them, and when they do, it's always kind of.
They literally just did a new show on Disney Plus for them.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing great things about it.
I don't remember hearing anything about it. So what? So that's even worse.
Oof. Oof.
But continue with the guests. We also have Melody Britt, who was the voice of Alana in Transformers Generation 1. And also, she was She-Ra of Masters of the Universe. So plenty of...
Alana, of course, being the lady who sucked off sea spray. Robot lady who sucked off sea spray. In that really amazing G1 episode where Rumble got turned into a tree.
That, yes. That alliteration, by the way, is magical. Good luck making that the thumbnail this week.
What, sucked off sea spray?
Yeah.
Oh, we could find something.
I was going to try to find a way to force a VTuber in there, but now I don't want you to. Let's see. Also, continuing to guess, we have Tyler Blezinski, who did the writing on Transformers Galaxies, the Constructicons Rising, which I do remember a certain pair of podcast hosts on this show, I believe, reviewing quite favorably when they talked about that.
I don't remember anything.
I think, okay, Mikey liked it, I think.
Okay.
I think you did too.
Oh, it was the Constructicons. Yeah, that was okay. That wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we come to what I would say is so far the big guns right now. We have the one, the only, the literal every voice you can think of possible that we looked up before the show recorded on He-Man. Voice actor Alan Oppenheimer, who you may have heard of as Beachcomber, Breakdown, Sea Spray, Warpath, but you might also know him as a certain, I don't know, skeleton character from a certain cartoon.
Oh no, Jason! You know what they're gonna do? You know what they're gonna get like Alan Oppenheimer and Melanie Britt to reenact their love scene from that episode, the Saga of Sea Spray.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Don't do it. just force them to do He-Man lines and She-Ra lines. Don't get them to do that stupid episode because it's not a good one.
Oh,
who
Lord.
likes that? Who's the villain in the Transformers community who's like, that's one of my favorite episodes. I love the part where Rumble's a fucking tree. Who are you? You're not welcome here.
Not on this show.
Did we ever find out how Rumble was like returned to not being a tree? I don't think we ever did, right?
I honestly I can't remember, but I'm going to say probably not.
Oh my god.
Also, just in case I didn't mention it, that was actually all Alan Oppenheimer I was mentioning. I can't remember if I said it or you said it.
You said Skeletor. I think people could figure out who that is.
Yeah, that's true. Especially when you get the Skeletor and you get here. Yeah. And then finally, we've got let's see. I'm not sure I recognize his voice. This person. So David, is it K?
Oh, he's that small time guy who's been on Jobby the Hong's channel.
Oh, he's the one who refused to say "put it in my ass."
That's the one. That's
right.
He also refused to say it as a line for the video, I hear. So.
He did. Although him and Jobby are apparently very, very tight, so that's good.
Very tight. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
No, of course I'm talking about David K, who, God, if you know who David K is, I don't know what to tell you. Yes.
But he's a voice actor.
He is. You should tell him. There was clues there that you could have used to figure that out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but no, David K is amazing. If you've never seen Jobby's review of the Beast Wars Megatron, watch it, because David just, if you want to know how cool David K is, look at what he does to a medium-sized YouTube channel who's reviewing, who asked for help with some voice lines, and he goes all out. It's great.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking of heading to Los Angeles in March, you're in for a show, it would have seemed so far.
Wow. It sounds like it's going to be stuffed. We made the joke last week that they were cramming guests in, and it seems like they just keep coming. They don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Preferably.
That's a song. It
is a song, yes.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool. It's not going to be something I can get to, obviously. Money, job, and mainly money and mainly job. I think those are good enough reasons why I can't go. Jason, why aren't you going?
I'm going to also go along with the money and the job aspect.
Lame.
Yeah.
What a loser.
All right.
Can you believe it?
Trap me like that. Jerk.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunately all of the news, though. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing this week. So, as usual, I gotta look at Jason in his little mouth, and I gotta say, Jason, what have you been up to this week? What you done for fun, son?
I mean, for nothing, we got 49 minutes out of it. That's an accomplishment,
Woo!
right?
Yeah, we dragged it out well.
Yes. Yeah, we are very good at just stretch. Let's see. So in the past week, because everyone knows what I did last week and the week before too, because I'm on the show.
That's right.
Uh,
All the time. We mention you at the Patreon only info, the Jason Club.
yes. To be fair, I do get more mentions on the show than I probably deserve at a given time. But hey, whatever works. So of course this week was Thanksgiving here in the US of A. So people did their turkey days where they got together and cooked a very large bird.
How was Turkey Day for you? Was it well? Did it go off well? Was
Well-
your bird moist?
Oh, it was a moist bird. Yes.
It's hard to get a turkey to be moist. Turkey is generally quite a dry bird, I found.
Yes. I will say my girlfriend's mother does a very good job at moist turkey, so I'll give her that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I actually didn't really our Thanksgiving was interesting. Woke up to a text Thursday morning from my sister, who we found out the week before is pregnant with twins, which was fun.
Oh.
No one in our family has ever had twins, so we're not sure how that happened, but it did.
Well, when a man and a lady love each other very much.
Yes, exactly. That was explained to me. It's quite fascinating, really. But we got
disgusting. Filthy.
We actually woke up to a text that said that because she had been feeling kind of not super sick, but she had like a fever the week before, she got a test and she was positive for COVID. So there was no
oh no.
Yeah, there was no get together for us, because even though it was a week ago and she was feeling better, the moment we stepped foot in the house, my son wouldn't have been able to go to school for 2 weeks. He would have had to quarantine.
Oh, I'm sure he would have hated that.
Well, yeah, they have to do this thing where they have to call in and like watch the lessons and stuff, and it didn't go very well when they were out of school half the year his last year. So we try to avoid that now.
No, that's smart, because I know for a fact if I was in a thing now and was like, oh, you have to do a call online, and be like, I'd find out any way to not do that.
Exactly.
I'd find any way to not be there. It's like, nah, get out of here. I'm not doing a video call for school.
It got to the point where we had to explain to him, you can't ask the teacher if you can leave early from the call.
No, what you do is you just close down the thing and say, oh, it lost connection.
Honestly, that was he was probably minutes away from doing that at some points. But so as much as that kind of stunk, we had our own little, thankfully the store, as much as I hate to make anyone work on a holiday, thankfully our grocery store was open long enough that we could go get a couple things. So we had some.
Oh, that's good.
We didn't make like a full turkey or anything, but we actually had a good dinner, which, hey, it's me, my son, and my girlfriend. If I had to be with any two other people that day, those would be the two I'd probably pick. No offense.
Oh, did you have a tofurkey?
No tofurkey.
Oh,
I know.
I've only heard of a tofurkey. I've never seen one. They look and sound grotesque.
They don't sound good. No. I'm sure they look terrible too. I haven't seen one either.
I've only seen it. What was it on? It was on an American comedy. It might have been Friends. No, it was Everybody Loves Raymond. They had a tofurkey, and I was like, why would anybody do that? Just eat meat.
Then I've
delicious flesh.
Yeah, I've definitely seen one then, because I was a rather big fan of Everybody Loves Raymond when that was on.
Yeah, back in the day.
Enjoy that.
It's got TFcon in it, technically.
It does. Brad Garrett.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
He does. Yeah.
And he always looks depressed, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, we can understand that completely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So,
but otherwise, it was a good Thanksgiving for the most part.
Yeah, we had dinner at my girlfriend's mother's, like I said, actually yesterday. So we did that, and like I said, the turkey was nice and moist. It was enjoyable.
Good.
Had some pie. Had some of the pumpkin pie and stuff like that.
Poopin' pie, love it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not a big fan of pie, but I can appreciate a person who loves their poopin' pie.
Yes, exactly. Spent most of my day on Black Friday just reorganizing stuff and trying to stay away from buying anything, which wasn't too hard.
I was gonna say, was there anything for you? Because when I looked on like Amazon sales, there was like, there's absolutely nothing to tempt me. Fantastic.
Well, I actually
also a little bit annoying.
Yeah, exactly. If there's any day you want to find something, that's the day.
Yeah, exactly.
I did
I was
kind
looking
of.
at Stream Decks, and it's like, come on, Stream Deck sale. It's like, no Stream Deck sale. So, okay, never mind.
Are you sure about that? Pretty
What
sure
do you
you should
mean?
have seen a Stream Deck sale.
No, there wasn't on Amazon.
I'm gonna have to get you some links.
Okay. No, because the best I've seen is like 189 on Amazon.co.uk.
Dear
It's the
Lord.
best that was on there.
Huh,
Yeah.
all right. I'm gonna have to do some searching for you there. But I did kind of luck out because I need a I found a decent motherboard cheap because I need to upgrade our one computer we have in the living room. It's our
Oh, so you're gonna buy a graphics card?
no, I already have graphics
You're
cards.
gonna buy a CPU as well?
Maybe soon. CPUs aren't bad though. CPUs are actually pretty good price right now.
It's mainly the graphics cards.
Oh yeah,
isn't
it's graphics card are a plague upon a society at the moment.
Oddly enough, I remember them hearing about them being an issue for people even before the pandemic, and then the pandemic obviously hit, and it went even worse. Right? Is that fair to say?
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there was such demand because, I mean, I don't know how technical you want to get, but basically, NVIDIA, which is one of the major GPU manufacturers, they released their 3000 series cards, which had a huge improvement over the previous generation. Especially the generation before, the 200 series card actually didn't have all that much an improvement over the previous generation.
Okay.
A lot of people skipped that generation because there was no. If you
There's
had
no point in getting it.
right, if you had a semi-decent graphics card, you were paying more for not much more, so you just kind of skipped it. But then the 3000 series, the 300 series came out, or sorry, 3000, and people were like, "Oh, this is like almost 100% improvement in some cases over
Damn.
2 generations ago." And people were like, "Oh, well, now I want to upgrade," and then everyone upgraded, and then the pandemic hit, and no one could upgrade.
No.
Yeah, it was fun. So motherboards aren't bad, so I was able to get a motherboard. I need to swap that out at some point. And then also related to what we're doing right now, even though I don't stream a lot and I don't really record so much anymore, when I do, I run my microphone through a kind of big mixer that takes up a lot of room.
Okay.
I found on sale one of the USB audio interfaces I've been looking at for a while. And it was only like $75, which it's kind of something where you look at it and go, I don't need it. I have a way to actually use my microphone, but it'll take up 1/10 of the room of the mixer I'm using right now. And the fact that I would get that much room back on the shelf it's on is enough to justify to me paying for, the smaller interface.
Yeah. So it's worth it just for the space alone, basically.
Exactly.
I can understand
Plus,
that.
I can turn around and sell the mixer for the same price that I got the interface for and be,
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So basically, you got it for free in a sense.
more or less. I could probably get even more, but it's a few years old. I'd rather just get rid of it and break even.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm very much if I have to describe what kind of consumer I am, I broke even. Fine, I'll do that. I don't need.
I mean, if you break even, that's not a bad thing.
It's not. It really isn't. So that's probably the plan with that. So I was happy to see that. 2 things I kind of needed, I found them. So yeah, Black Friday was pretty good for that regard. As far as like watching stuff, I did watch the first episode of the new Hawkeye series on Disney Plus. It's a first episode, so I can't say too much. I enjoyed it. I did like it. I've been outside of Loki, I haven't really enjoyed the other 2. I really, really liked WandaVision until the last episode, and I don't like how they ended it. Like, it legitimately was just a terrible, the way they wrote that. And I don't know. I can't say much about
They'll never know what you gave up.
Yeah.
She entrapped and imprisoned an entire town. You'll never know they'll never know how you suffered. It's like, get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Well, right. I get that. But again, it's the fact you literally had people of the town begging for you to kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they couldn't stand it.
There was no repercussions for her either, was there?
Oh, not only is there no repercussions, the one character's like, "Oh, I would have done the same thing." What?
Yeah, it's like, no, what?
I'm sorry. What?
I see. It was what the show didn't tell you, Jason. It was a villain show. It was a villain's origin show. That if that was the case, you'd be like, oh, okay,
No,
that makes
that
sense,
would have been
I suppose.
okay. But the problem is, you had I think the character was, I think it was Monica Rambeau was the one who did it. The second that character excuses what she did, it's not a villain origin story.
No,
she's still a hero
it's not.
because the good guys let her get away with it.
Mhm.
So if it had been if they wanted to turn, I love Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, so I like that character. If they wanted to turn her into a villain, I was all for it. I think that would have been great, but they didn't do that. They literally still have her as a hero despite what she did. That's terrible.
Yeah. It was a weird choice. How do you think that's going to appear like in the next film that she's in? Do you think she'll have any? Well, realistically, she should have some repercussion where the hero seeing like, why are you here, villain?
Well,
You
apparently,
do in prison in another town.
I mean, apparently not, because like I said, they were just like fine with it.
Madness.
But yeah, well, Madness. Yeah, she's going to be in the Madness or the multiverse movie with Doctor Strange.
she is, isn't she? I
Right,
forgot that. Yeah.
So maybe, but again, can't even really say that about Doctor Strange, because in the new Spider-Man movie, he just changes reality for no reason. Spider-Man asked him to. He'll do it.
Well, I think the theory is like maybe Ned dies or something. I hear people are saying that on the internet. Maybe that's the reason. And Peter's like, oh, Peter.
I don't know. Maybe. Could be.
I've heard people rumbling at the very least. People are saying like, Ned's gonna die. They're not gonna kill off MJ. Sorry, not MJ, because this isn't MJ. It's somebody else.
No, I think it's MJ.
They're not gonna kill off Mary Jane. They're gonna kill off Ned instead.
Yeah, nice. So, but yeah, Hawkeye has promise. It's the first episode. I know there's 2 up, so we might watch the second episode tonight at some point. But
okay,
you know me, I'm not. I know you and Mikey kind of got leery of the Marvel films as they went on. I think for the most part they're fine up and through Endgame. Mikey and I actually agree pretty much almost entirely on our thoughts on Endgame. It's not really a full movie.
I know.
It does a lot. It's much better if you look at it as what it is, which is it's a conclusion of 10 years of films, basically, which you can't do that in its own movie. And I think I agree with Mikey with how they used Hulk and stuff. So I agree with him on how everything wrapped up. But as far as the movies themselves, I think they're fine up until that point. But I'm taking a break. Other than the TV shows, I'm kind of like, I'll watch the movies at some point. I'll have plenty of time to catch up, I'm sure.
You haven't watched Black Widow and the Eternals and stuff like that?
Nope, have not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it stretch out for a little bit. Take a little break.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the only other thing is,
I mean, they're always going to be there. They're going to sit there, so it's not like you're not like going to miss your opportunity to ever see them. So that's fine.
Exactly. So, and then the last thing I did this week is also Marvel related, but it's not any of the movies.
Oh my god!
I had purchased 2 weeks ago, I think, the Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good game.
It is. I'm 3 chapters in at this point. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I can tell you everything they say is true.
The only thing I'd say, because I didn't play, obviously, I watched somebody play. The only thing that I didn't think was very interesting was the combat. The combat does get better the more that you go along and the more abilities you actually unlock. But starting off that game, you don't do a lot combat-wise. It's very flat. You just kind of run around in a circle shooting enemies. Because, none of you guys have any ability. They have one ability, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And the combat gets better by the end when you've actually unlocked their things. So you can actually do combos and stuff, and you can have a bit more interaction with the combat system. It's just at the start, and for a long time, it's flat as a pancake.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. Although I do know from watching you stream as much as I have, you like combat a little more than I do in my games.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, I appreciate a well-crafted system. Yeah,
right. Which I do as well, but I also don't need it to be super complicated or anything. I'm okay just starting off, shooting things here and there. But once you get to the point where you can do like the huddles are great. I did my first huddle and I was like,
that's cute.
This is fucking amazing. I love
my only issue. My only issue with the way that the huddle seems to work is because I was only watching someone do it. Is it easy for you to determine which the correct answer is, or is it more up to chance than that? Because sometimes some of the answers that the guy picked, I was like, nah, that's not going to work, and it didn't. And then sometimes he was picking ones where it's like, oh no, yeah, that'll definitely work. And no one, yeah, obviously the Guardians weren't on board, and only Peter got the buff at that point.
Well, I only did the one, and everyone got the buff. I mean, what it tells you to do is kind of like, obviously you listen to what they're saying, but like in the background, if you watch behind them, you can kind of, something that one of them says will kind of like linger there for a little bit, and those are your clues.
Oh, the words.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he never mentioned that.
Right. So if you're following that, I think you can figure out what you're doing.
Okay, because I was wondering if it was just like a 50-50 chance to get it right. It sounds like, no, that's not the case. You just need to pay attention to stuff.
There are clues that you can use to make the right choice. Yes, for sure.
Okay, that's good then. Definitely good then. That's better.
But as far as
because if it was just 50-50, I was like, ugh, I don't like a 50-50 gamble system for a super move, but...
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I don't like
that's
that.
not the case.
Exactly. But, the writing, the voice acting is really good. I don't know who they got. Yeah. I don't know who they got for the model of Gamora. But whoever that woman is freaking gorgeous, as far as I'm concerned. I love her character model.
I'm not a big fan on her hairstyle. It's it's a bit weird, but I really like the characters and the right. Whereabouts are you up to? Because you said chapter 3. I don't want to spoil anything, so I just want to make sure that I don't say anything.
I mean, it's still pretty early. I've actually seen a little past where I am now, but I just got off of the Nova Corps ship.
Oh, right. So you, right. Okay. Right. Yeah. So you're going to Lady Hell Thingy's planet or something, aren't you, to go and pay off your debt?
Right. And I watched Dr. Lupo play the Lady Hellraiser or Hellbender part.
Hellbender. Yeah.
So I know what's coming. But I hadn't seen anything before that section when he played it. So I've filled in the gap and I know where I am. So yeah, I'm excited where it's heading.
I think it's sad that for me personally, I think they overall you'll see that when you get there. I think they tell a much more interesting story than obviously the movies do. Obviously, they've got a lot more time, but it massively outpaces the movie in terms of character development and interesting character dialogues, and just doing like proper cosmic Marvel stuff versus the kind of more limited, kind of safer approach that the movies felt like. I guess they felt like they had to play.
I will say, as someone who does like the movies, I still 100% agree with you. What I've gotten just from the probably 2 hours I played, which 3 chapters, 2 hours, that's a movie right there, basically. So I've already I've already gotten a ton of great stuff out of it.
Yeah, I think it gets better as well, technically. I think it definitely gets better.
Well, that's glad to hear. Speaking of getting better, let's make the show better by you telling me what you did in the last week.
Well, oddly enough, I did watch a Marvel movie last night because it was on TV. It was on Channel 4. It's an oldie. An oldie. It's not a new one. It's a very oldie. It was The Incredible Hulk.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the one with Ed Norton Edward Norton. It came on. I was gonna watch my 2 episodes of an anime before bed because that's what I do. That's how I get to sleep. I slam those suckers on. But then I saw this. I was like, "Oh, okay, sure, I'll give it a crack." It's been a long time since I saw it, and it is still very much a 5 or a 6 out of 10 kind of movie. It's still very flat. The things I kind of like about it are it doesn't have the let's call it the Marvel humor that we're kind of used to at the moment. If you like that humor, then you're going to be disappointed it's not in. I was kind of happy it wasn't in there because me and Mikey not a fan of either of them. My biggest complaints with that movie still are, the designs. The designs for the Hulk and mainly the Abomination are terrible.
Yeah,
the Abomination's design in that movie is really shit.
For sure,
it's awful. There's a reason why the joke is, these look like the turtles from the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, and all these things look the same because he did look like absolute garbage. He didn't look like the Abomination. He didn't have his fancy little. I think probably one of the best things from what I hear about Shang-Chi, whatever it's called, is the fact that the Abomination is in there, even though briefly, and it actually looks like the Abomination. So, way more so than he did here. Yeah, I would say anybody who hasn't seen it for a while should go back and watch any of the post-Avengers movie hero films just to see how much they've changed in a filming style. Because those movies have dramatically changed how they're made. massively. It's so weird to like go back and see those original films now. Movies I obviously much prefer. But there you go. It was interesting. I wanted to just watch it. I kind of wish Guardians of the Galaxy had been on, because again, that's probably my favorite of the Marvel films, and I haven't seen that for a long time. So it's like, that would have been nice to rewatch again.
Oh yeah, that's a
not
great
too. Yeah, the first one would have been nice. Maybe at some point they'll shove it on TV. Who knows, right? What else have I been up to? Have I actually been up to anything of interest? Oh, I've done more painting. I've done more painting of Warhammer figures. I got another, 2 Blood Knights done. So 2 more Vampire Blood Knights on the horsebacks, which were quite taxing and difficult. Well, I thought they were taxing and difficult to paint. I got those done and sorted and up on my Discord, on Twitter and whatnot, if you wanted to have a look at them. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't get anything. Oh, no, that's a lie. There's a Steam sale on the
Oh yeah,
Friday. So I got 4 games because they were cheap. I got Warlords Battlecry 3, an old strategy game from back in the day that I had. I was like, oh, fuck it. It's like £1 something. I'll buy it. Whatever, right? I got Resident Evil 5 because you got that as well, Jason. And sometime in the future, we'll play it. And you'll get to hear the Another Piper Get Down song by Josh. She'll be a good time. I got Psychonauts 1 because, again, that was cheap. And I also picked up Hollow Knight because apparently that's a very good game. And that was only £5. Yeah, so 4 games came to about 15 to 18 pounds or something like that, if I remember. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. There was nothing on... They had Neo 2, which I was really tempted by because I liked Neo 1. It's still on sale, but it's only 30% off, so it's like $34.99. I was like, Psychonauts 2 was $38.49. I was like, yeah, that's a bit high. Samurai Jack is $24.79. I was like, again, that's a bit on the steep side. And I don't think there was anything else I was like super gagging for. Just looking through the lads. No, there's not. So I also need to save money for February when Elden Ring is out and Total War Warhammer 3 is out.
Yes.
Because they're both in the same month. I think they're a week apart. One's on the 17th, one's on the 24th of February. It's like, fuck.
Have fun with that.
Back to back. Yeah, I know, right? I have no idea how I'm going to game them either because I'll have to play them on stream as well, technically. I don't have to, but be a good idea too. I've started Dark Souls 3, the Convergence mod. I'm playing that on Twitch, not on Twitch, on YouTube at the moment. If you didn't know, it's Dark Souls 3. The Convergence mod adds a crap ton of new spells, new starting classes based on those skills. They completely change enemy placements, enemy health and damage to match the new damage scale that you can do. So it's not a breeze. There are new bosses in there. I fought and beat one of them last night. He was quite tricky. And we also fought and beat the Crystal Sage. So we did 2 bosses last night during my big old stream. And then it's just been Super Robot Wars every now and again during the night. And I think that's been about it, to be honest. I don't think there's been anything else really of sexy content that I've been up to as per the usual, as they say. I did watch an episode of Games Master, the new Games Master show, which I think's fine. I'm not like wowed by it. There was a bit like on, I just describe it as being okay. There's a few things that I look at and I go, it's fine. I'm not wowed by it though. I know some people are really happy that Games Master is back. That's cool. But I'm watching it and it doesn't feel like garbage, thankfully, which is all I can hope for. Because I remember the redo of like Gladiators in the mid-noughties, I think it was. Do you remember the redo of your Gladiators show as well, Jason? Because it happened at about the same time as we got ours.
Yeah, I remember being like, "Oh, American Gladiators," but updated, and I was like, American Gladiators.
You know what the best thing about that show was?
What?
Oh man, mate. It's Gina Carano.
Good point.
Damn, son. Damn, son. Woo! Damn, boy. I didn't know who she was at the time, but I saw her and like, damn, she's nice.
Yeah.
She's nice. Very good. Very nice.
Not going to disagree with you there, sir.
Yeah. The British one was shit. in comparison. It was like even the American one, which is sad to say was better. And usually I would say that the UK version of Gladiators far superior than the American one. Mainly because we did it on a big scale. You guys had it in like a TV studio. We had it in like a proper stadium. So it was a big deal here. It was a big event. It was a big thing. So there's a lot of grandeur behind it. In America, it's just it's a TV show. Here it was like boom, big time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all the things I've been up to as far as I can remember. Yep. Yeah, I think that's it. We're not going to do any questions. We do have one question, but it has the words Mikey in it. Ugh, disgusting. So we're going to wait until Mikey comes back to talk about that. It's X-Men related, so I guess we can save it for then. Mikey holds all of the other questions. If you did send him questions, hopefully you remember the link to send it to him. If you want to ask me or the Mikey anything in future episodes. I'm just going to check on the Facebook page as well. Christoph Carlson asked if we got anything during the sales, the Black Friday sales. I did not. There was nothing for me, unfortunately, apart from the games I picked up. Jason tried, but didn't get as much as he'd like. So he answered that.
I'm happy with what I got. It's good.
Yeah, definitely more than I did. So yeah, that's it. That's all the questions. That's all the bits. Where can people find you on the internet, Jason? Where can people watch your stream, Jason? And when are you gonna? Tonight?
Yeah, I occasionally will post something on Twitter at Jason S. Kirk. But yeah, I'm not super active there. Maybe if I was more active streaming, I would be, but who knows? And
I don't know, man. I've started following some like non-VTubers who I don't really know, and they post a lot.
Yeah,
it's like there's a lot of people who post. It looks like if you want to have a social media presence on Twitter, you gotta post like an obscene like amount, and I can't do that. I'll only post something if I think I can say something interesting, and even then, I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, I think the people who are best at social media, especially Twitter, they don't post a lot, but what they post matters. But I don't know how to make that happen.
No. You need to become a philosopher, Jason. A really big time philosopher.
No, I just listen to the smart people who talk about how to like grow on stuff I don't do. How to grow on Twitch. I know how to grow on Twitch. I'm not doing it, but I know how to grow on Twitch.
The idea is to go on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube's the future.
Yeah, I mean, for right now, apparently. I think as someone who mods for a certain fleshless inclined streamer, I can tell you YouTube has zero when it comes to mod tools. Compared to Twitch.
When is that meant to change? Because I remember you told me that they were going to be doing an update to it at some point. Did they say when?
I think they're shooting for the mod stuff they might do before the end of the year. I think they're trying to really get that in before something bad happens. But yeah, Fwiz, who's the head of YouTube Gaming, did a post on what they have coming, and there, what it basically comes down to is there's a lot of features for Twitch that they kind of need to match. Like for instance, gifted. It would be a membership on YouTube, but gifted subs are such a huge thing on Twitch. When you're part of a community and you can do that, it's not even. I don't even think a lot of streamers look at it as, because I think gifted are actually the majority of income for most streamers, especially the bigger ones. I know Ludwig had said I think his are like 60% of his subs are gifted.
Oh, sheesh.
Right, but he doesn't look at it as like, he looks at that every time someone gifts a sub, that grows the community, is the important part of a gifted sub.
Yeah.
So that's something YouTube wants to do. I would love if they did. I would get YouTube Premium if I got a free sub with that. Your free membership with that. I don't know if that's something to do, but mod tools are definitely coming because they have to do something about mod tools. I can, when you were on Twitch, I could click on someone's name and see basically every message they've sent for the last month if I had to.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, and on YouTube, if I click on a name, my options are ban or timeout. Like I can't see anything else. So yeah, once that comes around, for right now, Twitch is trying a little harder than they were 6 months ago.
That's good at least, because it sounded like they weren't trying at all.
Well, no, I mean, I'm trying to think. There's a couple big streamers who are like, Twitch didn't even bother to like even ask if I wanted a contract after my contract with them expired. I know they spent a godforsaken amount of money to keep Nick Merckx on Twitch, but they haven't really signed anyone else. Whereas YouTube's been signing some big people. Also, apparently more people are coming because there's been hints that before the end of the year we're going to see some more people come over. So,
what, to YouTube? You mean?
Yeah.
Or to Twitch?
No, YouTube. So they're making plays. You know, I think Twitch. Hopefully, Amazon realized they have to spend some money, or else Twitch is just going to flounder and die. Because hey, boosting streams ain't going to do it. I'm not paying to boost the person I'm watching stream, especially when that person doesn't even get the money. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that I remember reading that, and I think you told me about it. I was like, ooh, that sounds a little bit gross.
It is. No one likes it, and yet they are still seemingly going forward with it. So,
because who cares what the public want? Fuck them, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. But yeah, it's what it comes down to is, you know, I watch. There's Alpha Gaming, soon to be Senpai Gaming, Stream Scheme, Nutty. There's all kinds of creators on YouTube who teach you all kinds of great stuff about streaming. I watch all that stuff, despite the fact I rarely stream. So I have the knowledge.
You find it interesting, don't you?
I do. I really do. It's funny. If you have an interesting personality, you probably are pretty good at streaming, and you're pretty good at presenting how streaming works. It's weird how that connection just happens. It's amazing.
Absolute fucking madness.
It is. It's almost like, is that how VTubers work? Wow.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there's plenty of people who are VTubers who aren't entertaining that I don't watch, but all the ones I do watch.
Oh, damn.
I watch you. Shut up. You're in the list.
I'm part of the crew.
You are part of the crew. You'll get there, my friend. You'll get there. So yeah, but all of that is to say that sometimes I still stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/JasonSkirk. I'll probably work on doing some YouTube. Actually, maybe next time I stream with you, I'll try YouTube.
Okay.
Especially since I'm not.
You're gonna make the jump too.
Well, and I've streamed on YouTube before for like RFC and stuff like that. So it's not something I haven't done before.
The first time you're on YouTube, my God.
Actually, I streamed episode Povagacy on YouTube years ago. So,
oh my God. Okay, that was something else I did. It's not really that amazing, but I did switch over from Streamlabs to OBS completely now.
Yes,
I did that today.
Yeah,
which you told me to do. I haven't done like Streamlabs to Elemental Elements yet. I haven't done that yet, but I wanted to do at least the OBS bit first, because you told me to basically tell Streamlabs to go fuck itself. Effectively, since they were doing some dirty business, basically.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not new. They've been doing this for forever. And there are a few creators out there who've been saying for years, don't use this company. They are terrible. And it just finally came to a head. So, and I know when I first told you about it, you're like, oh, a company's being shitty to another company. That happens, which you're right. Like, that happens all the time. But Streamlabs is a special kind of fuck you, we don't care. And it's to the point now where it's just, I don't think anyone should. Honestly, I'm not sure if the company will survive, because they had, like, all the creators they had signed to show up on their landing page. They're gone. Like, they asked to be removed. Yeah. So, creators are like, yeah, fuck you guys. We're done.
I think the only reason I used them was because when I was setting up my first stream thing, it was one of the first and the easier programs to set up, and I was like, well, I've already got this set up. I'll just use this, because I didn't know anything about the company, because I didn't care. So whatever. Got the software going. Let's worry about streaming first. Yeah,
and back then you were probably right, but like you just found out today, you were sending me screenshots. It's sign up for YouTube. The stream on YouTube is easy. It onboards
you just
everything for
hit
you.
The auto wizard button. I was like, oh my God, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah, so OBS and all the shit you can do on OBS, all the shit I have set up to do on my stream that I never do. It's just mind-boggling. But yeah, so yeah, we'll get. And honestly, like I said, once you get into Stream Elements, if you do the same thing where I had access to your Streamlabs, I can literally set everything up for you exactly like it was. So it's not going to be a big deal. We'll get you there.
Okay, that's cool.
We'll get you there.
Woo! Nice.
So yeah.
Can we find you in any other places?
I mean, I'm probably lurking outside your window right now in a bush, but
that's impressive, because that's a long distance you've traveled to do that. I appreciate it.
I've mastered the art
of.
I'm not sure what to call it yet.
Okay, just the art. He's mastered the art, whatever they might be.
That's right.
Nice. Well, you can find me on YouTube as Decayed Andy. I'm on Twitch. Twitter's Decayed Andy as well. You can find this podcast on Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn. We're also on YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to go that way as well to get us. Oh, that was something I did. I don't know why it just popped into my head, but before we go, I can briefly, I suppose, talk about it. I started watching Cyberverse season 3 proper. I've gone to proper season 3. Like I said last week that I'd watched the first 4 episodes. Yeah. And Mikey said, that's the end of season 2, basically.
Yes.
I've watched the full season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Or not all of it, but I've started it. It seems to, again, still be kneecapped by its storytelling. There's some changes to the writing I would have changed, but it's got a bit of the Matrix vibe to it, at least at the start.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shame. It definitely feels like a show I would have liked a lot more if they hadn't had some of these issues, because every time that it comes up, I just get annoyed with these small problems, which I think could have been dealt with if it just wasn't a 10-minute episode. I realize I say that all the time, but so far with it, from what it is, and with that limitation in mind, I am quite happy with it. I'm going to finish season 3 and watch the season 4 bit as well. And I don't think my feelings on it are going to change, but I think I will appreciate the show a lot more than when I started with season 1 and 2, because I do think those seasons are pretty rough to watch, at least from my perspective. Anyway, ccbunker.weebly.com, and I think that covers everywhere you can find me. So hopefully Mikey will be back next week, but thank you very much, Jason, for coming on by and chatting with me and talking about Transformers again after all this time.
You are welcome.
I wasn't sure if you were still there, and I was like, is he happy he joined me? I hope so.
Well, I'm trying to think, like, like, do I actually, like, pretend I know what a Transformer is anymore? But yeah, No, I'm
Granddad Jason remembers what Transformers were in my day.
You know me. I'm always happy to fill in. Especially when it actually worked out really well last minute wise. We had some people here earlier, but then they were leaving around the same time we were going to record. I was like, hell yeah, I'll do a episode of the Moonbase 2 podcast.
Hell yeah, it was well timed, well deserved. So until next week, Mikey should be here. If not, I guess Jason might come back. He might not. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out next week. Until next week, everybody, thank you very much for coming on by, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
You are now leaving